Shalom, brothers and sisters, friends and family. Much love to you. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are blessed. Hope you guys are having a great week. And I hope you guys are truly considering the way of the kingdom. The way of the kingdom is a different way than the way that we have been presented in the religion system that has told us a day to worship, Sunday, which is now the Lord's Day, which somehow the Sabbath day that was an appointed time given to us by the creator of the universe for mankind and for such a way. Well, the system has told us that has been changed to a sun day, the day of the sun, the Sol Victus, a day that doesn't have the blessings that the actual Shabbat day has. And so with that, we're missing rest and we're missing a lot of things. We're missing amazing, incredible, genius, the most beautifully engineered set of guidelines that we need. Just like every single piece of equipment that we buy that comes with some sort of a technical manual, if so we choose to read it, our lives that we have been blessed with, we've been created in the image of our Elohim, that we've been designed immaculately by him, that our creator loves us so much that he has an inventory of every hair on our head, every freckle on our body. We have a direct line into our Elohim. We have a way forward. And for a loyal person to be grateful for all of these gifts of life and just the ability to have this time to be in this testing for 120 years, I'm very thankful to my creator. And because of that, I want to be loyal to his wishes, to his ways, to his creeds, to anything that he utters through the mouth of Moshe that have been written on the stones, tablets of stones, of sapphire. The entire set of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy is such a golden thing for life. In my opinion, the Torah is more stronger than life in of itself, because when we are able to do what the creator of the universe has asked us to do, which is to obey his ways, which is to keep his appointed times, which is to keep his Sabbaths, which is to worship him and to write the Torah on our heart, mind, and soul, and keep it so much that we think about it when we rise up in the morning and go to sleep at night. When we're with our kids, we talk about it. It's a part of our life. It's a living, breathing entity that breathes life into our families, into our existence. And this is the power of scriptures, is that it changes lives. It changes lives that are in the darkness. All of us that have come into Torah, there's always that moment when we have figured out that the way forward is something more than what these fake pseudo religions that are nothing but man-made traditions have told us and taught us. Once we unprogram ourselves, once we find that all food has not been made clean, and that our creator's son did not come to die to crush the laws that are so beautiful, that's the programming that Satan has given to mankind. And people will take those in religion and think of them and put them on a higher pedestal, when the problem is all of these so-called religions are contrary to what scriptures say. So there's a set of people, an obedient set of people, a covenanted people, a people that is a Hebrews 8 people that look to their neighbor and look to their left, look to their right, look everywhere, and they talk. They don't have to tell anyone about the Torah, because all of those people in this covenanted world, in the end times, know the Torah. We love the Torah. We embrace our lives around it. It's exciting. It's a hope for eternity. These 120 years, guys, I realize a lot of us get depressed. A lot of us get really, really down. And this isn't a single human issue. This is all humanity thing. And it is easy to look at the current state of right now when we forget about what eternity is. An eternity without darkness, without the demons always trying to take us, without the world of sin that we are living in, is going to be a much better world. When Messiah comes down and he comes with a sword of fury, crushing and destroying all these evil monsters, it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to be on the right side. And then it's going to be nice to exist in a world where you don't worry about murders. You don't worry about people committing adultery. You don't worry about any of this because we have chosen a way of life that our Creator has told us He wants us to live and operate. And it's going to go into the second Exodus. It's going to go into the kingdom to come. So with that, guys, much love to all of you guys. Thank you very, very much for really, truly listening in and being a part of my family and the commenting. And there's so many blessings of that are coming out of this entire scriptures and prison ministry and reading with you all. And guys, Yah Scriptures is the greatest English translation that I believe exists. And you can find it at yahscriptures.com. It's a free download. There's every platform possible that is downloaded that is all completely free of charge. It's free, right? If you would like this big, blue, beautiful study resource edition, which is limited edition, more than likely, possibly, I don't know yet. It has 3 beautiful bookmarks in it. It's large print. It's large font. So it's built for reading. It is built for studying, and it is built so you don't have to sit there and strain your eyes, and by the time you're done, your head hurts so badly you just can't make it happen, right? This is a ultimate study and reading guide, and there's no scriptures out there like this. Guys, we're talking 3,153 pages of pure, amazing, restored names scriptures, and it has been built with love. It has been put together. There's been so many people that are reading this. People love it. The free versions have been around for years now, and there's been tens of thousands of downloads of it throughout the years that we've been doing this, and it is absolutely very popular. People don't come back with it and say, hey, there's errors here, or this is all jacked up, or this and that. We're not seeing that. And so, guys, I believe it is the greatest English translation. You'll not find this in those scriptures like this that has the name of our Creator and the Son, His Son, our Messiah. You know, the reason for, you know, the reason for hope in the future, right? This is our reason for hope, and this is our leader, and there's nobody more qualified than the Son, right? There's nobody. And so I can't wait for this kind of leadership. I cannot wait to fall behind this guy and even be the guy that, like, you know, sharpens his sword, be the guy that, like, you know, does whatever possible thing that it takes to be in and around this kind of crew and these kind of people. And so if that's the kind of family you want, a righteous Kodesh family, then that's the kingdom family. That's a covenant family. And we are the people who believe that these laws are amazing for all times and all generations. And for every Yah Scriptures you guys get, you guys were able to literally change lives. These brothers and sisters in chains, in the very dire and dismal United States of American prison system that just locks people away forever and ever and ever, and it's an injustice to humanity. It goes against the law, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. It is a mess. It is a mess. So continuing on into this is the book of Khalidi, the book of the Natharim, and it is a you know, if you want to be a follower of our Messiah, if you want to be a follower of Christos, Mashiach, this is the way forward. He tells us things that we hear, we've heard before. Nothing we are learning here is new. There are new ways of the same commandment, but nothing has changed. The fundamental core values, the core Torah that we knew in the first 5 books of scriptures is the same words that we're hearing here. This is the same stuff that you hear in the Besorah. And so let's talk about this. Let's see how far we can go. I'll try not to get too long-winded today. Let's go. Chapter 9. The Torah you have says, no man shall put his wife away unless he give her a bill of divorcement. But I tell you that whosoever seeks to put his wife away, except for adultery, or is found unchaste, places her on the path of adultery, and is therefore not guiltless. What Yahuwah has blended in Ruach, let no man seek to sever, but those joined in body and not in Ruach are not sanctified. Guys, I will always be a champion, a cheerer, an advisor, a guy that's sitting out here that is saying strong families and strong wife commitment can create a lifetime of amazing people to walk with. There's something about commitment, guys. There's something about a man's way that we have learned in this world right here, that it's just so easy to dial a divorce, right? It is so easy to throw in the towel. It is so easy to be a beta male and get your emotional, chonies in a bunch, right? And destroy something that could be completely great, right? I've been married, I think 25-ish years. I don't even know at this point, and it probably doesn't matter, but it is one of these things that it has always been a give or take. It has been something that is not, it's not something that's easy, right? The walk with a spouse is not easy, right? There's a tremendous amount of give and take. When we get into marriage, all of a sudden the women figure out Prince Charming isn't so Prince Charming. The guys are like, well, the queen still has a few issues as well. And it's something that we learn to grow with, and we learn to love, and we learn to bond with our spouses with the stuff that would irk us, right? It's a people, right? We have to give people the freedom to be who they are and what they are. And under the Torah, if you are in a Torah-based family, and I know that's rare, I know a lot of us don't have that group, we don't have this support, but in a Torah-based environment, we know the laws of our Creator. We know that adultery is a big thing. What Messiah is talking about right here is something that the law of adultery is something big, right? If you're committing adultery in the land back in the days, the male and the female are taken outside the city at the behest of multiple witnesses, are taken outside the city gates, and people pick up rocks and they kill them both. Which is why our Messiah, when they brought the woman in adultery, started writing on the ground, he was probably writing all these sins of these guys, and they all got freaked out because they didn't want anything to deal with it until there's nobody left but her. At which point, the guys that were accusing her had been breaking the Torah because they needed the guy. They were missing the guy. So Messiah you can't be judged in an un-Torah way. At the behest of two witnesses, and you have to bring the two criminals or whoever it is that is based upon this. So when we look at what the commitment is in the eyes of our Creator, it is a real big deal, right? It is a spirit bonding of a man and a woman. And it is something that is, I know that, based on scriptures, there's not marriage in the Shemaim, but there is still going to be, I believe, a bonding of the spirit of a woman and a man based upon the walk here. And so I don't think it's like all of a sudden we just go into the next life or the next world and we don't have our family. I think we would have our family because that would be the way of our Creator, right? He's all about family. He's all about the family setup. So men, if you are done and you've tossed in the towel and it's the end of what you think that you can take, and you put your wife away and she becomes the man of somebody else, the second that they have that intimate relationship, you've made her an adulteress, right? There's a laws, and which is why I talk about pornography probably too much, but I know it is a plague. Like 70% of the internet, it used to be, was pornography, was all of this sickness and lust and sales of the skin. And it is such a easy road to get trapped into. There's so much of it, right? You could go woman after woman after woman in your little pornography run. But guys, every single time that you're doing this action, or females, when you're doing this action, you have made the person that is in that video yet more of an adulterer. You're an adulterer. And I mean, if you're sitting there cheating on your wife with another woman in pornography, you've lost your way. You've completely lost your way. You've lost your way home. Look, that's called eating the grass on the other side of the fence. And you've forgotten to water home grass, right? You've forgotten to water your homeland. You've forgotten the repairs and the maintenance on your own lands, and you've delved off. Now, when you read the book of Solomon, which is extremely creepy, he talks and he's binding up. This dude's a wizard. He's a freaking magician of crazy power. homeboy's binding these demons up, and he's talking to them and trying to figure out what they are. One demon is like a house wrecker. He's the dude that sits and puts all these things into a man's mind that he must go and become, split the families. Some of these demons are literally assigned to take us away from our families, both men and women. And these things can come and literally form what you would look at as people, right? And so you might, for whatever reason, decide that you're going to find this one person and you're going to take them and become an adulterer. This thing could very well be a demon. Like the entire process of him was probably just to simply destroy it and make sure whatever happens. Because once you are an adulterer, number one, the marriage is over, right? The marriage is over. You are not to go back to somebody who has cheated. If you are a cheater, you have destroyed your marriage. Don't go into your wife and make her an adulteress, right? It's over. Stop the madness. So, guys, that's the thing about adultery. And we have to be very, very careful, because as people are surfing pornography and as people are lusting after women with their eyes, right? Checking out every single woman that goes by, right? Your eyes, you talk to a woman, you can't keep your eyes peeled. There's a lot of issues with the way women dress and the way that the entire system has gone from where we had a bit of modesty. Even when I was growing up, it wasn't great. But, 40s, 50s, 60s, you see that it's just progressively gotten more and more to where women wear zilch, zip, and the men, that's what drives a man. And so if you're out there looking like a hooker, you're going to have these dudes lusting all over you. And I guess that's what people want to look like, right? I don't know. But guys, we need to be different than this, right? Keep your eyes on the field. If you are in a relationship, even not married, and you are in a sexual relationship, technically you've already done the do. You shouldn't be splitting up, right? Keep this relationship as it is. Don't damage yourselves further, if at all possible. Okay, continuing on, 37. The Torah you have says you shall not swear falsely or break an oath. Though if you vow something to the service of Yahuwah, the pledge must be kept. I tell you, never to swear an oath, but confine yourself to a forward yes or no. It is needless to say any more. For the word of a reverent man is more binding than the most solemn oath sworn by another. If you are not a reverent man, then doubtless your word and oath would be worthless anyway. Messiah is such a savage in this stuff, right? This is words you don't get anywhere else. These are things we got the yes and no, right? We know from scriptures, let your yes be yes, your no be no. But it's it gives us a little bit more, right? And if it's truly he says it perfectly, right? If you are not a reverent man, then doubtless your word and oath would be worthless anyway. That's basically saying if you don't have a real Elohim, if you have no value on the creator of the universe and this value of what he says, then you don't give a rip about oaths. I always say this, and I don't mean to throw any religion under the bus too much. Actually, yeah, I do. But the Christian religion is very, very, very lawless, right? And so we're talking right here, if you are not a reverent man, which you have 3-4 billion Christians, so-called Christians, and all these variant different kind of sects of that, and they're not reverent, right? And so when you deal with them in business or in life or anything of the sort, because that you believe that you can do what you want to do and basically ask Jesus to forgive you, and it's like a once saved, always saved, and regardless of what you do, you're always going to make this magical rapture bus. It's heading on to take you into heaven, right? But that's not the case. The reverent people are the people who are Kodesh, the holy people, right? So Messiah says it again, right? Reiterates what the Torah says again. 38. If your eye give cause for complaint, leading you towards lewdness or obscenity, pluck it out. It is of greater advantage to suffer disfigurement on earth than to be cast into the depths to suffer it there. If your right hand give cause for complaint, cut it off, and if your body be maimed on earth, you bear it a little time. But surely do nothing to prevent it remaining intact in the place of glory. Guys, this is huge, right? This reiterates everything I'm talking about. And if you're sitting here living in depression, guys, hear the words of Messiah. you bear it a little time, right? Focus on the prize, focus on the end, focus on writing these laws, statutes, and commandments on the heart, mind, and soul of your house, falling under Torah, falling under the appointed times, falling under everything, right? And this goes again to the pornography, right? If you can't stop this pornography, then it's time to, number one, get rid of your computer. If you can't deal with it then it's time to get rid of the phone. Go to an old flip phone, right? If you can't do it at that point, then it's probably time to take the ball peen hammer and start with a pinky and crack that sucker, and see if if any of this is going to get you to stop screwing yourself out of your existence in eternity. This is a problem, right? This is a major, major problem. And our Messiah's words are the same words that we've heard before. This is nothing new. But he reiterates yet again that it's better to lop a limb off or flip an eye out than it is to continue in the evil that we are doing. If you want to find the kingdom to come, then it's by people who are obedient. It's not wishy-washy, right? You don't have this hidden porn addiction that everybody in the house goes to bed and you crack up the computer, right? That's not what the people of the kingdom look like. You're breaking commandments every time that you do things of this nature, and it's better to pluck the limb off, snap the eye out of there, any of this stuff, than it is to continue on in our sin. This goes for everything. And I throw those who are surfing porn under the bus because I know it is a very, very big problem amongst men and women, right? It's not just a man thing. This is definitely a woman problem as well. Continuing on, 39. The Torah you have says, love your neighbors and hate your enemies. But I tell you to love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who deceive or persecute you. For if you only give for love, this cannot be claimed as a meritorious thing, when even criminals return the love of those who love them. If you only repay good with good, dealing fairly only with those who treat you likewise, how can merit be claimed for this? Which is no more than criminals do. It is the same if you give only to those who give to you, for criminals give to their own kind. Can you stand by and let it be said that criminals treat each other better than do reverent men? Wow, there's a lot of words here. This is big, meaty verses, right? We've heard a lot of this, but yet it again tells us a little bit of understanding, right? Love our neighbors and hate our enemies is what this says, right? Well, that's what we hear. And, and that's the thing, when it says hate your enemies, that is true because we're not, how the entire Yisrael messed up is happened in the Joshua days, happened right after Moses when Joshua did not seek Yahuwah and he made a deal with a whole bunch of heathens, pagans, Gentiles, and they never ever were able to get rid of them, right? And so, yes, we have to hate that entire bad system of all of this. And we know, obviously, right, we love our neighbors. But Messiah says, love our enemies. Do good to those who hate you. And pray for those who deceive or persecute you. Hard to do, right? Right? We have enemies, and they're called enemies for a reason. They do something that offends us, or hurts us, or harms us, or does something to us that we, as human beings, deem as dangerous, not likable, not something we want to be around, right? They're enemies, right? But what happens when we pray for these guys, right? Because we know, even from the wicked Solomon's words and Proverbs, we know that when we pray for the enemies, that it heaps coals of fire upon them. And so, that's one thing that we do here at Boss Clan a lot is we pray for our enemies. We have a lot. We have people that hate us. Lots and lots and lots of Christians, they hate us. We're blasphemous in the eyes of the Christians. But when you are talking scriptures, which is if we're really truly talking about securing and protecting our soul, these are the kind of things we have to do, right? We need to love our enemies, even though it hurts, even though we don't want to do that. It's part of the system. It's part of the process. It's part of the refinement of the human system that we are able and capable to be community members of the community to come. So we need to be right. We need to love. We need to love our enemies. Love them all and give to everybody. Continuing on, Messiah didn't stop with that. Love your enemies, but not their faults. Love those who hate you, but concede nothing to their wickedness. Give without expectation of return. Then only can you lay claim to goodness and be a servant of Yahuwah. Wow. Okay, so not only do we know that we have to love our enemies, but then he fine-tunes it just a little bit more. And then he says, check this out. You don't have to love this evil that they do, right? When these people come at you and they're evil to you and it's based upon evil, right? Somehow we have to not minimize, we have to hate the evil, but we have to somehow love the person out of that, right? That's what our Creator's Son is saying. That's the edgy side of this understanding of the Torah that he gives us, right? Give without expectation of return, right? That's a huge thing, right? A lot of times people are always coming for loans or something of the sort, and it's never coming back. You're never going to see it again. Messiah says, give without expectation of return. 41. Now, this is a Christian conundrum. This is some fighting words. This is a toe in the line, right? This is it. I have not come to abolish the Torah or to change the teachings of the Nebiim. Okay, but to complete them, adding any necessary clarification and interpreting them to the understanding of men. Okay, let's not take on any more of that because this is a problem in Christianity. These are fighting words. This is the verse they go, where did this come from? Oh, that's the Apocrypha. Oh, yeah. Well, this isn't just the Apocrypha. This was also in Matthew. This was also in throughout the Besorah, right? Messiah did not come to change the Torah. In fact, he healed people according to the way that the priest, according to the way that people were sent to go off to complete a healing. Messiah healed the people and said, go present yourself to the priest, right? This guy, our Messiah, the leader of the real free world, is a proponent, if not the Torah made flesh. He's everything that we need in an example of a Mashiach, and we have it. He says right here, he did not come to abolish it. Well, what do you mean, Messiah? Because we have all these people that say, Jesus, you nailed this to the cross. At which point he says, your preacher's lying to you for money. And my name isn't Jesus. My name is Yahushua. Yeshua, right? Salvation is the name of our Messiah. Now, before I get too long-winded, which I've done it. I've already done it, fellas and gals. All right, so what are we doing? Well, I think we will leave it. What we'll do is we'll finish this up because this could end this right here. Amazing like. Okay, right? So Messiah continues on after telling everybody, all he's there for is to clarify it, interpreting it so we as humans with these little pea brains can get it a little bit better, right? Now, it's not pea brain as in something uncomplex. I'm talking like the most complex computer system of all time is in our gourds, and it's between 2 ears, and it's just an amazing setup. Okay, halfway through, 41. But the time has come to ask, when will they be put into practice? Uh-oh. Okay, whoa. No, this is even worse than the Christians. So not only does he say, I'm not going to get rid of these things, but when are they going to come into practice? Whoa. What does this say? This says that the 150 plus commands that we have, rough más o menos, more or less, we can bring them into our lives. When are we going to start practicing them? So our Messiah, the leader of the free world, has not only said they're not gone, but he's asking us, when are we going to put them into practice? That's a very big deal, right? If we're not keeping Torah and you want to be a follower of Messiah, Mashiach, right? But we're not doing what he does, then you can't say you're a follower of our Messiah, right? Our Messiah is a proponent of the Torah. He said very clearly, when are you going to start using this? When's this going to be applicable to your lives and the foundation of the core of your physical and spiritual existence? Now, this is a huge, huge thing. When will men bring Yahuwah out of the Hayakal and make him a participant in their daily lives? Guys, big words, right? Are you a Sabbath keeper and then the rest of the 6 days you don't even pick up scriptures? You don't care what our Creator has to say? Any of that, right? We can do the same thing right there. The Christians do when they worship one day and then they're Jack Christians or Jack Mormons and they go back to drinking liquor the same day on a Sunday, which doesn't matter. It's the first day anyway, right? So they can do what they want to do. But this whole thing is Messiah talking about the Torah is still in effect. When are you going to bring it and make it part of your life? And then when are we going to bring our Creator, who is the word of our Creator, right? The Torah is our Creator. It's His words. It's His ways. It's His wishes. When are we going to make Him a participant in our daily lives, right? This is not a one-day Shabbat thing. This is all the way throughout the week, first day, second day, third day, fourth day, all the way is our days of us solidifying our temple. When Messiah came and died for the people who are wishing to have the spiritual curse of the Torah broken and the people who are obedient, He took our Creator out from the temple. And He, on Pentecost, He was delivered to mankind in a way that we don't have to have that Levitical priesthood anymore. We don't have to have somebody out there sacrificing animals and coming before our Creator on our behalf. We have a direct fiber optic, probably a super fiber optic cable that is directly connected from our beings to our Creator, right? Right from our gourd to our Creator. And if we so use or wish to use this incredible line of communication, no calls, no charges, there's no telephone fees, we don't have to, no long distance, it's just right there. And it's what our Creator has wished us to be, is in prayer with Him, in communication with Him. Us, our families, everything that we have, right? This is us teaming up with Team Yahuwah and Team Yahushua and being a part of that kingdom road. And the kingdom road, again, is going to be amazing, freaking amazing, because it's going to be all of you guys that are out there that are happy to serve our Creator. That's not religion, right? Every single one of these religions has let us down. It has absolutely been guided by the hand of Satan. And yes, good things have come out of some religions, but you're not talking souls being saved. That's the problem. If you're unable to ever come and take your 120 years and find the way to our Creator, it's not His fault, because He's given us every last way forward, and people are going to be stubborn. Most won't go there, right? Matthew 7 very clearly says that the gate to get to eternity is wide, but the path to destruction is imminent for most. And it says most don't make it. That should be a cause for concern, guys. We live 9 billion people on this planet, right? How many people do you see around you that are seeking our Creator and have given everything, right? And how do we give everything? Well, we're loyal to Him. That's what we are. We give up our lives, and it's not giving up our lives because Messiah gave up His life so that we can have a life, right? We're just lucky enough to be given this opportunity to walk these lands and to praise our Creator, to come into his awakening. If you guys are in Torah, if you guys understand all the stuff I'm talking to you guys about, that's the prayer that we need to thank our Creator for allowing us to have eyes that are open, for somehow, because 9 billion people are blind and they can't see anything. And I guess if most don't make it, according to Matthew, they never wake up. And so if you are the few, the proud of being in Yah's team, that's the people who are keeping Torah. Those are the people who love our Messiah and love His ways. So guys, I hope this blessed you. I think this was a great, just couple chapters. This book is so big. If you guys can help Yah Scriptures Prison Ministry, there's stuff to do. If there's anybody out there that feels like they have a calling to be a pen pal, our brothers and sisters in chains are extremely receptive. I'll be typing all day today. I'm so far behind. And these letters take so long. But you don't have to do it. You only have to do like 2 or 3. I do 35 in one prison alone. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of blessings. And I'd like to encourage anybody out there that if you want to be a part of a prison ministry, I'll line you up with everything and the entire packet of how to do it. We'll pay for the stamps. We'll show you a couple of brothers or sisters that you're interested in and get you the way forward, help you guys. And your lives will be completely blessed. I guarantee it. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Much love to everybody out there. I'm out.